Hi everyone, this is Crow for Sports Crapology. We're going to do our AFC preview. We're going to start with the AFC East right now. We're just going to talk about the AFC East in this video. You can see us on YouTube at Sports Crapology, and you can catch us on X at Sports Crapology. So, the AFC East, we got the Buffalo Bills there, the New England Patriots, the Miami Dolphins, and the New York Jets. So we think in 2026, this season coming up, that the Buffalo Bills will win the AFC East behind new head coach Joe Brady, Josh Allen, James Cook, and some other receivers that they've added. They have turned over a coaching staff, and they've made some coaching changes, but we think they're experienced coaches, and that it'll be a positive move for the Bills, and that they'll be able to, the personnel that the Bills have, they'll be able to win the AFC East. So the Bills were number 7 in defense in 2025. They have Jim Leonard as their new defensive coordinator. He was a defensive back in the NFL. He was a defensive back at Wisconsin. He's been a defensive backs coach and defensive coordinator in college at Wisconsin, I believe. And he's also been defensive backs coach of the pros, and he's now the defensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills under Joe Brady. So we think he'll be able to do a good job, and that defense will be still in the top 10 in defense. And I believe there's no more Joey Bosa, so that should help them too, because he's kind of you can't have a good defense with Joey Bosa. So most of the personnel is back. They do have 2 good corners, Benford and Hairston. They're pretty much shut down corners. They're veterans. You need 3 corners now, 3 cover guys. So they added D. Alford, and they added C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So they have some experienced defensive backs there that can cover receivers. They also drafted a corner out of Ohio State, one of the best corners in the draft, Igbinosun. He was one of the top 5 corners in the draft, I think. So they have Zane Durant from Penn State to help the pass rush and defensive tackle. You're going to have to double team him, and that's going to probably leave someone else open to get to the quarterback. They also drafted T.J. Parker, a good outside linebacker from Clemson, that can also rush the passer if you need him to. And they signed Bradley Chubb, veteran Bradley Chubb. So they added some good depth in the defense, and I think Leonard will be a good defensive coordinator, and I think the defense will be good, top 10. So their offense behind Josh Allen and Joe Brady. Joe Brady was the offensive coordinator, and he got promoted to head coach this year when they let Sean McDermott go. So they were number 4 in offense. On paper, they should have probably been in the Super Bowl, but they didn't make it. So the offense should be fine. Joe Brady added Pete Carmichael, who I think was one of his mentors in coaching. They picked up DJ Moore, a receiver, to help Josh Allen. They really didn't have any receivers last year, so they got Shakur Moore this year and Coleman out there. And then they have Josh Palmer. They drafted Skylar Bell to add some depth. He's a real good receiver out of Connecticut, UConn. Joe Panano threw to him. And so they have some better receivers this year. They still have James Cook in the backfield. They still have basically the same offensive line. So they should be pretty good. Josh Allen, maybe the number 1 quarterback in the NFL, probably in the top 5 for sure. So we think they're going to be able to at least win the AFC East, as much as we're betting on right now. So second in the AFC East, we're going to say is the New England Patriots, led by head coach Mike Vrabel. They were number 8 in defense last year. They have basically the same personnel back. They have the same system. But they do have first-year DC defensive coordinator, DC, Zach Kerr. So we don't know how that's going to go on, but Vrabel has been a defensive coordinator. He played linebacker in the NFL. So the defense, I think, will be primarily the same. So they should be pretty good. The problem with the Patriots is they have a very different schedule this year. Last year they had a pretty easy schedule because they had a terrible record the year before. Now they've got a good record. They went to the Super Bowl. They're going to have a very tough schedule. So they might not even make the playoffs this year. That's how tough their schedule is. But on offense, they do have Drake May. He is a top 5 quarterback. If people argue with that, he's a top 10 at least. I have him top 5 quarterback. And they've added A.J. Brown. Give me the damn ball, A.J. Brown. So he's a real good receiver. They have Romeo Doubs, another veteran. They had Demario Douglas in his 3rd or 4th year. They got Kyle Williams. They have Keyshawn Boutte and Matt Collins still. They still have Josh McDaniels as their offensive coordinator, one of the best offensive coordinators maybe in the history of football. He was the offensive coordinator there with all those Super Bowls with Bill Belichick. They still have a solid offensive line. They draft offensive linemen every year. They have solid running backs. So New England should get there in the 2nd spot. In the 3rd spot, we have Miami Dolphins led by new head coach Jeff Hafley. He has been a head coach before at Boston College. He's been a defensive coordinator with the Packers, was his last position, I believe. He's been in coaching a long time. He brought in some, on defense, he brought in, we're not even going to say what they were in defense last year because it's a whole really new coaching staff and new team. But we think they're going to be better than the Jets. So anyway, they have 2 rookie linebackers, Gonzalez out of Texas Tech, Moore out of Texas, good draft picks. They got another rookie from Pittsburgh, Kyle Lewis. He's another good linebacker. So they got young, fast, strong linebackers. They got some rookie defensive backs. Chris Johnson out of San Diego State, maybe one of the best corners. Some teams regard him as the best cover corner in the draft. So they got him. So they got a bunch of rookies, young guys, but Hafley's specialty is defense. So I'm thinking they're going to be okay. Not a great team, but they'll come in 3rd in the AFC East. They're going to have Malik Willis behind center. They're going to still have Dacha Chain, whatever his name is, at running back. He's one of the best running backs in the league. He's great at running the zone plays left and right. He's a good receiver out of the backfield. They got some receivers. They brought in Caleb Douglas out of Texas Tech, a rookie, Coleman, a rookie out of Missouri, and Chris Bell, a rookie out of Louisville, all highly touted rookie receivers. And they still have Malik Washington. Waddle went to Denver, and so he's out of the picture. And they're going to have receivers grow up with Malik Willis. Malik Willis's starting job has been handed over to him. They have Clint Ewers behind Malik Willis. So that's 3rd. 4th in the AFC East and least is the New York Jets. They're still a mess. I don't understand how this team's such a mess. Aaron Glenn was a solid defensive back in the NFL for years. He was a great defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. And he gets a head coaching position, and he's terrible now. He can't put together a defense. They can't put together an offense. I don't know if it's the general manager or not, but the personnel decisions are terrible. This team is just a mess, and it's going to be them and the Atlanta Falcons probably battling it out for the worst teams in football. They're just, I don't know what's going on here anyway. Defense, they were number 23. They weren't last, but they were 23. They have most of the people back, but it doesn't really matter. They're not going to stop anybody. They're not good at stopping the run. They're not good against the pass. On offense, they decided, I don't know who decided this, but they thought, oh yeah, great idea. Let's go get Geno Smith and put him behind center. He led the league in interceptions with Tua Tagovailoa. Luckily, he's injured. He got injured in the preseason, so They've got Cade Klubnik played a lot in the first preseason game. Cade Klubnik, he's probably going to start Klubnik because Geno Smith hopefully will be injured for the Jets. If he's injured, it'll be a good thing for the Jets. At least Klubnik is going to try. He's a rookie. He's got an arm. He can complete some passes, and he doesn't always complete them to the other team like Geno Smith. So I don't know why they would sign Geno Smith, but anyway. Klubnik will be under fire. I mean, he looked good against second string and third string defenses in preseason, but it's going to be different when the season starts, and he's going to be under fire, and he's not going to do very well, and the team's probably not going to do very well. Their offensive line isn't great, doesn't really thrill me. But anyway, he's going to be trying to throw it to Garrett Wilson, Omar Cooper. I don't know who else they have. They still have Breece Hall in the backfield to run the ball. If somebody could block for him. They need to build an offensive line. They need to build a defensive line and a defensive backfield. They need to build everything. They need to overhaul the whole team. It's a big mess. They probably need to start all over again, once again. Anyway, this is a Crow for Sports Crapology. That's the AFC East. We got the Bills winning it, the Patriots in second, the Dolphins coming in third, and the New York Jets last. And you can bet on the Jets being one of the worst teams in football. Watch us on YouTube at Sports Crapology and on X. Thank you for watching.